Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. Lake Macquarie detectives are appealing for witnesses and CCTV footage after a woman was shot in the arm at Gateshead last night. The 50-year-old was leaving a unit on Paper Street at about 8:45pm with three others when they were approached by two people with their faces covered, one armed with a firearm. Two shots were fired toward the group, with one hitting the woman. She remains in a stable condition in the John Hunter Hospital after leaving the scene with the group and the alleged offenders and being found at a Charlestown home. A second woman from the group remains at a local police station as inquiries continue. Upper Hunter MP Dave Blazell says more needs to be done to help workers transition from coal mine jobs to other work. It follows yesterday's announcement that the Ashton mine will undertake a staged closure, with the last of its 300-strong workforce to be put off in January 2028. Dave Blazell has told the ABC it's likely many workers will either take voluntary redundancies or possibly move into other coal-related jobs.
So important that we keep focused on the buffer lands and the post-mining land use so we can actually bring up new industries in parallel with coal mining, because we need the new industry started, established, going as coal mining starts turning down.
Two people were front court today after a police pursuit through several Newcastle and Lake Macquarie suburbs, which resulted in a crash. Police say the chase started when the driver of a car allegedly failed to stop in Glebe Road, Hamilton South, around 9:45 yesterday morning. Later, police were notified of a crash between the car and a motorcyclist at Warners Bay, the rider taken to hospital with minor injuries. It's alleged the occupants of the car, a 22-year-old man and a 40-year-old woman, fled the scene. They were arrested a short time later, the man charged with 7 offences, including driving while disqualified and reckless driving. The woman was charged with break and enter and possessing a prohibited drug. The union representing shop assistants, fast food workers and warehouse staff in the Hunter is welcoming a pay boost for its members. SDA National Secretary Gerard Dwyer says the recent national wage case awarded an extra $48 a week to workers on minimum wages.
This 4.75% wage increase is critically important for all Australian workers, but for retail, fast food and warehouse workers, it's particularly important. They're amongst some of the lower paid workers in the country, and cost of living pressures remain high, so we really welcome this wage increase. Our people really need it.
Housing Industry Association Executive Director Craig Jenian says recent tax changes and global pressures have left experts uncertain about the future state of housing development in the Hunter. Land availability, rising costs and regulatory complexity have been identified as the biggest constraints on the local housing growth, with the Hunter falling short of meeting the growing demand. Craig Jenian says infrastructure, planning reform and industry support are the region's key tickets out of the situation.
The key thing the sector needs is assistance in what we call last mile infrastructure. That's the sort of infrastructure that can help developers get land out of the ground quicker. We tend to find that locally that is really a need for infrastructure in transport, particularly around our roads, and those that are leading up to the major land developments.
Newcastle Councillor Siobhan Isherwood will push to recognise Hunter Wildlife Rescue at this month's Ordinary Council meeting. The volunteers work over the summer period to rescue and care for injured flying foxes before releasing them into Blackbutt Reserve. They're now prepared for the coming summer months after rescuing around 80 bats during the 2025-26 period. Siobhan Isherwood says Blackbutt Reserve is a great spot for flying fox rehabilitation.
The City of Newcastle is a supporter of the work they do by providing that facility there, which is a really excellent location for injured flying foxes that have been rehabilitated to reintegrate with a local population.
2NURFM Sport.
Knights centre Bradman Best has received high praise from some of the best in rugby league. Queensland legend Greg Inglis believes if Best keeps fit, he can fulfil his incredible potential. Kangaroos coach Kevin Walters told the Matty Johns podcast Best will dominate next Wednesday.
Here he is a few years later, playing for New South Wales in the centres. He won't let New South Wales down. What he also brings is that attacking opportunity, out of yardage. I think they'll feed him a lot of football.
Brad Bates has kicked off the 4th Riding for Mates on Saturday, looking to finish in Bulga. The 4,300-kilometre journey started in Darwin and makes its way to Port Augusta before riding to the Hunter region. Bates says they have a goal of raising $200,000 on their final ride. And Sydney FC forward Patrick Wood will spend the next 2 seasons at the Newcastle Jets. Wood has experience in the Asian Champions League as well as an Australia Cup trophy. The Jets will kick off their Australia Cup campaign later this month. That's sport. I'm Darcy Mills.
And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 2, 8, 17, 19, 24, 41 and 43, and the supplementaries are 7, 12 and 26. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.